for staying with us. To get this joining us, this is Firecrackers, and we're just about to get started with our discussion segment. I have with me here in the studio Dr. Yemi Omadoli, a legal practitioner. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Good evening, listeners and viewers at home. As a happy, wonderful Sunday.
Okay, all right, and straight to the discussion we have at hand. When this hashtag End Bad Governance in Nigeria started, it was said that it's going to be from the 1st of August to the 10th of August. The 10th of August, the last yesterday, and today is like, it's supposed to be the, how do I say this now, the new day after the protests are taking place. So now that the protest is supposedly supposed to be over, so do you think that it served the purpose of actually bringing the government's awareness to the flats that a lot of Nigerians are saying? And do you think this has actually influenced some of the decisions that they will take to better the life of Nigerians?
Globally, protest is recognized in some international treaties and conventions, which Nigeria is not an exemption to it. Nigerians have communicated their grievances to the government of the day via the planned protest and the protest carried out. And the information passed across has been noted by government. And whatever decision government will form will be based on the request by the protest. I think from the broadcast made by the government, we have been made to realize that voices have been heard and steps will be taken to address the issues on ground. I believe it will be so. And aside from that, the one way or the other, the protests achieved some of the targets in that. But the only thing I want to say is that you see that protest carried out. In some part of the country where it was peaceful, good and fine, and in some other parts of the country where it was not peaceful, that was not the expectation of the persons who planned the protest. The situation whereby government property were looted, individual residents were invaded and items scattered away. That is not the intention of the protest. And doing that has resulted in another crime committed by persons who involved in such act. And I also observed that some persons were flagging different countries' flag during the protest. That is not also within the purview of a recognized protest. That also resulted in another crime as well, which I think the necessary department of the government will look into and take necessary steps and address it. But now, information has been passed across to the government. Our grievances have been made known to the government, and the government has said it will be addressed. Let us wait and see how it will be addressed. That is the issue now. Information has been passed across, particularly to the governors who are in charge of each state of the federation. They've received the information, and they have to swing into action with a view to bring succor to the faces of Nigerians, them to make Nigerians happy, and then to make the economy to be bearable for us, and to make the situation to be accommodating for all citizens of the country. However, I don't like the idea of when you say something is peaceful, it's supposed to be peaceful. So anything outside peaceful protest is not within the purview of the law, and it has gone contrary to the law. And whoever finds himself in such an avenue will face the wrath of the law. But when you say something peaceful, it's supposed to be peaceful. Setting buildings, properties ablaze, that is not peaceful at all. Stealing property is not peaceful. That is not good. That's not fair.
Definitely, peace is important. But do you think that this action that was taken might just be because of pent-up frustration, and these people have been looking for means to do all this, but the opportunity just provided that avenue?
No. Those days, people destroy property, looting somebody's residence. That's not frustration. That's intentional. It's with intent, which is one of the factors in criminal prosecution. When you say you are aggrieved and you want the government to know your grievances, you make a peaceful process. Don't say peaceful process. You carry that without disturbing the other person, without making the other party to regret its action and inaction. That is peaceful. But when it results to the idea of setting buildings ablaze, looting property, invading premises, making away with goods in such establishment, that one was carried out intentionally. It was done intentionally. So, but they might have used such an opportunity to carry out their intention. That was what they had done. So then I think the relevant agency of the government will address that one and make sure that the necessary things are done. But when it comes to peaceful protest, you see, if you take note of what I mean by peaceful, you may gather at a spot or moving along the street, singing song, and carry placards without fighting anybody, without setting anything ablaze, without blocking roads. That is what I mean by peaceful. Not when you see what taxpayers' money was used in doing, and you are destroying it. That is violent. That is not peaceful. Then you invade somebody's property, you make away with the properties in that building. That is not peaceful. That is violent. Now, if you are carrying out peaceful protests, you move along this. You don't need to enter somebody's residence. You just sing songs, you make the demands known to government. Government will listen to it. President will cover it. The claim will be played to the government. And at the end of the day, corrections will be made. That is peacefulness. But the situation you are setting building ablaze, that is not peacefulness. So that is, in fact, that's arson.
Definitely.
It's arson. It's uncalled for.
So while the estimated date for the protest is supposed to have elapsed yesterday, the organizers of this protest on Friday said that they will not stop the protest until their demands have been met and addressed by the government of the day. So part of the demands is fixing hunger, reducing cost of living, addressing the issue of insecurity, addressing government waste, which is cost of governance, especially for the National Assembly. They also said releasing of all NSAS protesters, to also provide security to farmers across the country, doing something about human capital development, electoral reform, establishing a living wage, and constitutional and judicial reform. Realistically, are these achievable just within the 10 days that these protesters have given the government, and they're saying they will not stop until the federal government has addressed all these needs?
What the brain behind the bar had done was to make known to government what they want the government to do. I call it proposal. It was welcome. Now, what the government will do is that the chance of implementing all these things within 10 days may be somehow, may not be feasible. But I think government may decide to take it one after the other, and what we call scale of preference, and address them one after the other, and gradually everything will be laid to rest. But let us be sincere with ourselves. And I always say one thing, I've said it on several occasions. The only problem Nigeria has is we Nigerians. We are the problems of Nigeria. We are the one constituting problem for this country. So that is why I said Nigerians are the problems of Nigeria. You know why I said this? When we are talking of security, when we are talking of arresting hunger, when we are talking of boosting our economy, when we are talking of security for farmers, it requires our concerted effort. It requires joint effort. It's not a thing that will be done solely by government. We, the citizens, we need to cooperate. We need to ensure that such is achievable. Now, I was asking somebody some time ago. I said, when you see somebody committing crime, have you ever taken steps to report such a person? He said, what was his business with that? And you want crime to be out of this country. When you see somebody committing crime, you need to report to the law enforcement agency. This is what I saw this man do. The steps will be taken. But when you leave such a person, he will do what is more than that. What is more terrible than that, will do it in the nearest future. And in that wise, it's not good of our society. Now, we are talking of fixing our economy. Fixing the economy, where some people are that end there, siphoning our funds. And some people see them, they keep quiet. And some agency who's supposed to take steps, they see them, they keep quiet. Are we assisting the government? We are not assisting the government. That is why I said the Nigerians are the problems of this country. Now, I read it in some print media that some funds, some items were released to some persons in this country to get it across to the people at the local area. And these things were not delivered. Now, the question I want to ask is this. Do you want the president to leave Abuja and go to Ajasheku and be sharing items for them there? It is not done. The representative of the area is his duty. So if the government has released such an item or such fund to go and do good, to do that to some persons and they did not do such thing, what do you think is happening? We are the one. We are doing ourselves. So what I'm saying in essence is that it requires the concerted efforts of Nigerians in order to bring this administration into a limelight, in order to make sure that the country is developed, whether be it politically, be it economically, socially, agriculturally, medically, scientifically, and what else, educationally. But the fact is that this country, people decide to say bad or negative things about the government with a view to bring down the government. It is not so. You don't need to put down a particular administration before you can win an election if you want to contest. You don't do that. There are many strategies you can adopt that you can still win an election without having negative mind about the ongoing administration. You can't. Because if you see all this scenario going in this country now, it has a kind of political tone. I'm saying this with all due respect that at times politicians, they sit down, they strategize. And when they strategize, their strategy is how to win. And how do you win? Is by bringing in one or two ideas. And then those ideas will favor them. But you don't need to put down the country. You don't need to send people property at place. You don't need to send boys to go and be setting structures at place, to be looting property. You don't need to do that.
Okay. Is this also inclusive of some comments and statements made by the presidential candidate for the 2023 presidential election? Are you also addressing some of the things that they have said or posted on social media too?
Well, you see, what I'm trying to say is that, you see, everybody in this country says his opinion. There's such opinion that will be guided in line with the law. Now, you don't say something that will throw the entire community on fire. You don't need to say that. Intelligently, you can strategize and you get what you want. Now, we talk of saying, we want this, we want that, we want this, we want that. Good and fine. Everybody needs it. All of us, we are feeling the impact of what is happening. So, having been feeling such an impact, we're supposed to think intelligently. We don't need to be destructive. Destruction will not lead us to anywhere. Now, what we experience in this part of the country during this so-called SARS then, nobody prays for that again. Because people that lost one or two things, they are yet to recover from it. We don't need that. When we are doing something peacefully, we do it peacefully and we make sure that we do it in line with the law. Not to go and steal. Even the Bible and the Quran says, thou shalt not steal. I think I'm correct. So if that is it, and you say you are protesting, then you go ahead and be stealing. That is a crime. That's a crime. And with due respect, I've witnessed, I've seen, I've observed some protests that were done in the recent past, and such a thing did not happen. So why now? So people destroy, people looting, they have the intention before. They only hide under that canopy to perpetrate the atrocity. And that is my view on that.
Okay, that's okay. So now that the date stipulated for the protest is over, what's next for Nigeria? What's next for the federal government?
The next, you see, government had all what the protesters demanded for. It is not left for government to be addressing them one after the other on gradual process, with a view to cushion the effects of the problems we have in this country now. Now, we are talking of hunger. I'm aware of that hunger. I'm aware of fuel. I'm aware of the economy. I'm aware of security. And I'm aware of employment opportunity. Yes. They are very, very germane to the development of this country. The government should put into consideration the demands of the youths. The youths are the leaders of tomorrow. And in doing that, empowering the youth, you are empowering the country. Now, then there should be employment opportunity for them so that they will be happy with the government. Without employment, there may be increase in crime rate in the society. And then people say, an idle brain is what? Is the devil's workshop. So if somebody has a place to go every day to work and to earn money at the end of the month or at the end of the week, such a person will be happy to do more. But situation where there is no work, no money to buy food, no money to earn for transportation, nothing, such a person may think bad things and negative things about the government. So government should address it in that area. Then aside from that, the engine of our economy, the thinking tank of the federal government, I think they need to sit tight. They need to sit tight to ensure that the economy is revived. And reviving the economy, the ideal of high cost of governance, I think that area ought to be reduced so that there will be money to be spent on another aspect of the economy or of the country to ensure that the funds that are being expended on some what I call irrelevancies be recouped and be spent on another aspect that will bring about development in this country. Now, for instance, I think some time ago, I learned that the National Assembly reduced their salary or what?
Yes,
by 50%. So we had. I think this is August, I mean. July had come and gone. We didn't hear anything about it again. Hope it is not merely by utterance, it should be by action. So all those kind of things should be addressed accordingly. Then you see the youths. Now, if you look at or you watch the clips concerning the last or just concluded protest, you discover that the youths were of 99%. 99%. And if you look at the youths, you discover that majority of them, they are applicants seeking for employment. So the government should look at it from now on, that all these youths, there are ways employment could be created for them, that they will have something to do. Now the government, you see the governors, the 36 governors of the states of the federation, they have a lot of work to do. They should not think that everything is the responsibility of the federal government. That is not so. It is the responsibility of the state government. Because the state governors are closer to these youths than the federal government. The body should not be placed on the federal government. The body should be on the state and the local government. Thank God the local government, they've not had their, what I call their freedom. Yes. Since you have freedom now, extend that freedom to employment aspect, to economic aspect, to social aspect, and to other relevant aspect, to medical aspect, so that the people at the grassroots they can feed it, and they can have work to do. Then the governors too. Don't think it is your right to be moving with brand new cars, a fleet of cars, and we call it entourage. Why the youth, they have no work to do? It is not fair. That is not good for our country. It is not good for our economy. It is not good for our development. So the governors of the states, I am advising that have a rethink about the youths in this country, because a lot of stories are being read here and there. Their funds were released. This was released to so government. This was released to government, and all of a sudden, nothing has done. If federal government can increase the allocation, military allocation to each state government, what the federal government wants the governors to do is to be able to take care of the state and make provisions available for them. Because federal government alone cannot come to the state level and be doing everything. The federal government will do for Abuja, will come and do for Lagos, do for Kano, do for... No. But since there are governors there, the governors should sit tight and ensure that these issues are addressed. If it is not addressed, I doubt whether solutions will be preferred to all this lack of employment, food security, and some other issues.
Okay.
The governors are the first place of contact before you mention the federal government. And if federal government is saying allocation had been increased, the meaning is that it's a simple mathematics. You are troubling me, but I'm taking care of your state government. That is the meaning. So if the state government is taking care of state government, you to take care of your state and leave Abuja party alone. Take care of your home. You take care of the problem in your bedroom before you take care of the problem in your parlor. Then before you go to the outside to go take care of those problems.
In short, people should hold their state governors responsible rather than troubling the federal government all the time about the issues that is plaguing Nigeria. Is that correct?
You see, before you talk of federal, you talk of local government. Local government free now, as pronounced free. The state government always free. Yes. And the federal government free. So before you talk to a person in Abuja, talk to persons in the local government and the state government. Then the state government or the state government or the state governor address the issue in your house. Don't pass the burden to federal government. Federal government is saying that we have taken care of you. You to take care of your homes. That is the problem. So I can say with all this, you said that the government, they have a lot of burdens. This thing is beyond the mandate given to you, the governors, is more than no one you. It's not the issue of one. It's not the issue of this is my last tenure. And once I complete my 4 years, I find my way. No, you will find your way to nowhere. You need to take care of your homes, take care of your state, good roads, security vote. The security vote is not given to you to go and be doing no one there. It's given to you to take care of the state, security-wise. But are they doing so? Then aside from that, you see, all these governors, I'm sorry to say all these governors, those ones who are on their last lap, that is the second term, they may be thinking that that is the end of their tenure and in respect of at this governorship level. Those ones who are tasting the first term, they are planning for second term election. Don't think of that now. This is when I can say, let's say 1.5 years or 1 year and a few months. You still have more months and about 2-3 years ahead. Let the foundation be proper now, so that by the time you will take your nomination form, you have less burden to campaign for you to win. But if you make things difficult now, and election comes, you now bring out the money you are sharing for them, for these people, they will collect your money and they will do otherwise, which you may not like. So the best thing is that create job opportunities. There are ways of creating job opportunities. Make consultations, persons who are advanced in that area, they will advise. There are many ways. Even when job opportunities are created, with due respect, money is also still be generated to the government's coffers. There are ways to do that. But some of these people, when you advise, they do what is in their mind. And what is in their mind is not in favor of the masses. And the masses, they are the number one when it comes to determination of elections in this country. So we want something for the West, the government will have a lot of things to do. Whether you are in Kamfacha, whether you are in Zafara, whether you are in Zubi, whether you have a lot of work to do.
All right, definitely. So